We have made our way outside here. Now, when you think of summer nights, you might think fireflies. And today, Maria has captured that magic with her DIY firefly sign.
I just love
This is special
summer.
for you, too, with your summers.
So special, yes. And summers are such a special time. It makes me very nostalgic because we've been spending so much time outside as a family, as you guys are, too. And it's so much fun with the kids. You can see this is the 4th of July. Yeah, JJ is my wild one. You can see there in the middle. And they're just having so much fun. It's so warm. And we're just doing everything outside. Dining al fresco, all of the things. And it stays light so late that we've been outside having s'mores. And JJ is super into the moon right now. He loves seeing the moon. So we're going to Michigan to visit my family. And like we were saying, it makes us nostalgic because I used to see fireflies in Michigan growing up, and they need to see them. If JJ likes the moon, he's going to go nuts when he sees all these fireflies. So I wanted to create something to sort of get them excited about, because Grant doesn't believe me. He's like, there's what?
By the way,
fireflies? So I'm excited about
where I grew up, I used to see fireflies in movies and never even believed they were real.
See, that's where Grant is right now.
I saw them. So this is really cool.
So yeah, this is, and so you can have this sign, so you can have your own fireflies.
Wow, how about that?
How about that?
You bring the magic into your own home. All right, so the first step, you got some 1x4s over here.
Yeah, these are 1x4s. These are super easy. You can, if you can get them cut down at the hardware store if you want as well. You truthfully could do this if you wanted, Cameron, with a palette that you already have. But I wanted to make my own for this specifically because I had a specific vision in mind. So I'll tell you about that. So you can see I have everything lined up here. And I did, after you get it all kind of set up, what you do is you do the top and the bottom first. And I'll tell you why. Because when you do this, you screw them in first. Then, because I wanted it to be sort of imperfect, that gives you the opportunity to kind of move these around. You could have them straight if you wanted, but I wanted that sort of like, it almost reminds me of like when I was in Michigan going out onto the water, on like a boardwalk or the dock or something like that.
I love it.
And I love that. Okay.
And it makes it very user-friendly too, as you're putting in these screws here. I mean, it takes the perfection out of it so that we can all do this and not be worried about if we make a little mistake. If it's not perfect, I like it.
Exactly. So you can see all I'm doing here is I'm screwing them in. It's step and repeat at this point, and you want to do each one of them.
So they're all secured in there.
So they're all secured in there.
Okay, so now we've in a sense flipped that over, and we ended up with this. Clearly, you've done a great little painting technique here too. Tell me what you did. So
for this one specifically, what I did is I actually stained the wood first because I wanted that sort of dark wood to come out, and I created just a brush stroke sort of look with the white paint on the top. And you could do anything you wanted at this point. This is where you could just
go. This looks really good.
Yeah,
though. You did a great job with this technique. I love it. Okay, and then we've got some letters on here too. Obviously, we've got Warm Summer Nights lettering that we're going to go
so
up here.
If you want to help me grab this off cam, this is, I used a Cricut for this specifically, but you could do anything. I love water slide decal paper, which is something you can go to hallmarkchannel.com. I've used a number of times. You can do stencils. You could hand paint it. You could just have it say summer. You could do a last name for a wedding. There's so many options to have this, and you could just do that. It's super easy. So it's sort of like the world is your oyster, if you will.
It looks so professional. I mean, look at this. Look what we've done so far. Okay, so we've got sort of the base done here, and now we've got to get the mason jar, which is going to be collecting our fireflies.
Yes, so I started with sort of the base of the mason jar first in terms of my spacing.
Got it.
And so we have, what I figured out here is a good way for it to hang in a really strong way. So you could just use some any kind of twine, any ribbon, anything like that. So what I did is I grabbed some wire and just looped it here and here.
Okay.
Okay, so you do this, and after that you can just kind of secure it like this and just kind of keep going. Oop, pull it like that and kind of twist. And you can take your wire cutters and cut it after that. And after that, you can do whatever you want. You could take your twine, your ribbon, whatever it is you're using, wrap it around multiple times, or you could just, you could do anything you want. But you can see that's what we have here. We have one that's already done.
Hold it, okay.
And so that is where you kind of figure out your spacing from there.
But the placement of this jar is quite important, and you'll explain why. Because it's from this jar that your fireflies escape a little bit, right?
Exactly. They're coming out of the jar, so that's why that's important. And the jar is hanging from, this is just a drawer pull. And so what I did here is just used a drill, because a drawer pull is going to essentially be, we'll show you on the back, you just put it in and then you screw on the back.
Very good.
So what we have here is I drilled a hole right below it, because that's where it's important to do that, because that's where the fireflies are going to be coming out of.
Right, from the back side, that's where the lights are coming through.
Yes, so Cameron, to answer your question about the lights and the fireflies, this is a really exciting part. So you can see I have some holes already drilled.
Yep.
So what you want to do is, it's going to be be based on your lights. So you can see the lights that I'm using here, these are going into the jar, but the ones I'm gonna bring around the back are the same spacing. So what you wanna do is you wanna make sure to space them in a way where you're coming sort of like through like that. So for instance, I have these kind of close together, but you could do some spread out. I have a couple marked for you.
Which just means that you're going to sort of skip one on the line, on the back of the board, right? So we're going to continue this
so
all the
they
way through here.
don't have to be so close to each other. I kind of like the idea of a little bit close and then it kind of scattering as it goes up, like you can see in our sign. And you can do this however you want.
Beautiful.
So Cam, if you wouldn't mind
going
to
which way should I flip it? This
like
way?
that, it's perfect. So you can see I have my battery pack already taped on here, and all you need to do is tape these guys on. And I recommend taping because eventually if you wanted to switch out the lights or anything like that, so you can see, actually, let's pull it back a little bit more. There we go.
Sorry.
And then,
Sorry, Maria.
so what I do, it's because I'm short. Okay, so what you do is you bend the wired lights. That's why I love the wired lights. And Cameron, you could use like Christmas lights for this. You could do anything if you wanted to.
Nice.
But I like the wired lights because they're super, super easy to work with.
And they have a special little magical sparkle to them too. I mean, so do Christmas lights, but these are really unique. I think this would sell the Firefly look even more than Christmas lights in my opinion.
I agree with you. If you can find the wired lights, which they are everywhere right now, you have no problem. And I'm gonna just go ahead and do one more.
Cute. Okay,
and we'll
go ahead.
see it, and we'll be all done. And that's, truthfully, it looks like something that it might be difficult, but it is not at all, because all you do is just pop the lights through.
Yeah, as long as you got the right drill bit to make the hole big enough for these lights to come through. You know, you just got to adjust that accordingly. And then you put the mason jar on there for the ones that you've collected.
And if you can hold it up, then we'll hang our jar and we're all set.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Why don't I do that?
And we just hang it like that, and we're all done.
And as you do that, I'll say, go to hallmarkchannel.com, everybody. That's full instructions. We'll be there. This looks so good. Happy summer nights, everyone.